Hello guys, what's going on? Hope you guys doing good. So I'll let people get on. All right. So what I want to talk about today for the people in the future that are watching this, or people that are about to come on, is the programs that are going on in the mind with people. And I also want to talk about betrayal. This is a subject that I really don't talk about, as far as betrayal goes, but I do talk about programs and paradigms and stuff that people have in their mind. And a paradigm is pretty much how a person's mind is designed based on their hierarchy of beliefs that they have. And we all know what betrayal is. Betrayal is something when somebody just straight up just does you wrong and dirty. So, and why would I put these two things in the same somewhat category, right? It is because that betrayal is, again, betrayal can be something where somebody's doing you wrong, and it could be a program that somebody's accustomed to. Like, say for instance, somebody that you've known for a long time, and you did so much stuff with that person, and they just double cross you or they do something wrong. What would be something that would make somebody, like that betray you? What would be something that would make somebody just do something that you thought they would never do, something that you would never imagine they would do? And again, we gotta understand that these things are based on programs, sub-programs that are put into this reality. Either it be on TV or whether it be on the way the person was raised. These deep-rooted beliefs that a lot of people have makes people do the things that they do, because these beliefs are pretty much, they're pretty much injected into people's subconscious mind. And that's when I start talking about, ego identification, because a lot of people feel like they need some sense of belongingness or some sense of personal validation or accreditation. And that's one of the things, or one of the programs that put out into this reality, especially when it comes to, when it comes to like, let's see an example. All right, say for instance, I use women for instance, because there's a lot of women out there that feel like they need certain types of validation from their significant other. Because typically this happens in relationships where the woman, or we should say the fictitious woman, is seeking validation from their partner because they have either low self-esteem. And it's also the same thing for guys too. They're seeking some type of validation from the other person because they feel like they're not in touch with themselves. And again, these programs or these TV shows are designed for people to feel a certain way deep down inside, to screw with their own emotions, because they don't really know themselves. They don't know what to think at half the time when they're on this reality, because they're not having the type of things that they should have when they're like looking at different TV shows, different radio stations, because there's a vibration in these different programs, TV shows, and radio stations, especially like rap, that are feeding this idea or this paradigm or this type of believing into their mind. So they believe that if I'm pretty, that I should be pretty like her, and if I get into a relationship with somebody and I don't feel pretty enough, or I don't feel loved enough, then there's an issue. but they're not seeing the bigger picture of the relationship with somebody. And then that's when betrayal and things happen, because people are really hurt somewhere. So, it's kind of hard to believe that somebody will betray you based on, what I'm saying as far like a program. A lot of people think that there's just negative people out there and just out to do harm. They're out to do something towards you. And that's true. There's people out there out to do harm, to do things towards you. But the more you think about that, the more you attract that into your reality. Let me say it again. The more you think about that, the more you speak these things into your reality, the more you attract that into your reality. And so you have to be careful about the words you say, the things that you think, because most of the time you're attracting that into your reality. And again, and that's the reason why these programs, these TV shows, these programs, the radio station, all these things are putting these sub-programs out here to have you believe, or to have encourage you about what you want, what you should be thinking. And pretty much the case is a false sense of thinking. You should be thinking a little bit better than betrayal, because of your belief system is hurt or something like that. You should be able to see two sides of the coin, to understand that person, even though they are betraying you. And don't understand, and don't think that since you've been betrayed in the past, that every time you get around somebody or in a relationship, that somebody is trying to do something to you based on your current and past experiences. So again, betrayal is something that can be a program for some people, but other than that, there's an underlying meaning to it, to the programming for that. And again, this could be different types of traumatic experiences as a child, where somebody's done something really wrong to you, that something you haven't resolved within yourself, and needed to do some type of inner child work to heal that child that's inside of yourself. If you feel like you've been betrayed by your best friend or a family member, because those beliefs and those systems go into your adulthood. Because after age 7, if you have been betrayed a lot at age 7, deep down inside, when you get into relationships with people, or anytime interaction with a certain person, you may feel suggestible to being betrayed by somebody. You may say things like, yes, I like this person, but I don't know, this person just might betray me, or this person might just do me wrong, and so I'm gonna make sure this person is right for me, and I might go into this relationship with somebody, but I don't want anything important right now, because I can't handle this and I can't handle that. And those are the things that stop you from, finding either a significant loved one or having a good relationship with somebody, anybody, if it's in a relationship or a friendship, and interacting with anybody, because you're already setting the vibration of negativity within the projection of what you want to attract into your life. So again, in the sub-programs, like the TV shows, where if you have some show that you're watching about betrayal or something like that, and like, oh, that's a good show, man, never thought about somebody betraying me like that, and you have to start thinking about it, start having dreams about it. Again, subconscious, that stuff is already automatically stored in your mind. And if you're somebody that's never been betrayed before, you may be automatically adopting that belief into your life until you make a shift in what you're believing in. So again, as far as these TV shows go, like I don't know, what's a good TV show that you watch? Let's see. Let's try to figure out the good TV shows to watch. I don't know. I would like to just go into like a lot of the black TV shows I watch on TV. And I don't know, I guess I can't talk to any TV show, black TV show in general, because a lot of black TV shows that I see on TV are pretty much the same. And they're actually, for me, I feel like they're actually projecting out a collective idea about how black people are, which is really not the case. You know, things like, you know, like, I guess we should say like Empire, you know, Family Matters, things like that. And those are all good shows, but the underlying meanings behind how, you know, they project the black culture, you know what I mean, it's interesting. And understanding what I know now is that the whole race is an illusion. Again, since you have the understanding deep down inside that you're a race and not just a divine race, and you're black, then what they try to do is put this idea about how you should act and where you're from and that's your roots and all these things. And when you start saying some things like I'm saying, as far as like being awakened towards that idea and belief that you are a divine being and nothing else, then it starts to get to a point where you're like, oh well, so you're not, so what you trying to say, you ain't black or stuff like that. So again, you see a lot of this racism that's going on in this world, a lot of this separateness about I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, when we're all the same. And again, it's not getting any better, but of course you have to have hope for humanity. Again, this is a program. We have to understand that these things are programs, and there'll always be programs, because this reality is about mind control, you know, a negative type of manipulation, influence about who you really are. That's the reason why these programs are put out there. They're not going to put any programs about you being a divine being and, you know, your spiritual sin, and, you know, they're not going to put that out into the mainstream media. They want to keep you at a certain frequency, a certain power level. And they want to keep you creating different sub-programs, like the program of racism, the program of, like I'm talking about, betrayal, the program of fear, the program of I'm a black man struggling in America trying to make it, you know what I mean, or I'm a gangster automatically when I walk down the street, or I'm a gangster because I look at rap videos all the time. So since I listen to Lil Wayne or somebody, that I should automatically be wearing what he's wearing. And that's what I see all the time. People sagging and stuff like that. Like, seriously? You think I'm gonna take you seriously if you're doing that? Like, I used to be somebody who actually sagged all the time and had my blue rag on, doing all that, doing gang banging and everything else. But, you know, that's not me anymore. Again, that stuff is a program. It's a program to keep, you know, a black man incarcerated to be doing things that they shouldn't be doing, versus them educating their youth and everybody else in the race. Now, again, these things are programs. And so, again, betrayal can be something that's just very devastating to somebody. You know, I currently know certain people have been betrayed very, very severely. And again, that's very traumatizing to somebody. And so typically what happens is that this becomes a wound, what we call like an internal wound inside of somebody's soul, from, you know, from an esoteric perspective that I have. But a lot of people have just been hurt and damaged over the years, and they don't know how to solve those things. They don't know how to deal with the hurt. They don't know how to uncage, you know, their vulnerability and love for somebody else, or accepting and trusting the other person that's in their space. And again, so how does somebody do that? How does a person escape from these programs and the idea of, you know, the deep hurt that's been, you know, that's in their past? Number one is that you have to adopt a different way of thinking for pretty much any program that's coming out. You have to really come to an awareness in your mind, deep down inside, that I am not going to believe in that anymore. I'm really not going to believe in that anymore. If you look yourself in the mirror, just tell yourself, I am not going to believe in any type of pain, suffering, negativity in my life. Negativity does not exist within anybody I interact with or within anything else within this universe. You need to start repeating these things to yourself on a consistent basis, so your subconscious will know that these programs, or the program of what's negative, what's positive, or polarities, when you can see things from a neutral stance. And also addressing the pain, saying that I've been hurt in the past, but I will not be in the future, because that is the future, is not my past. You know, these different types of affirmations are things that can help you if you keep repeating these things and you start to really feel the words that you're believing in. And you need to anchor this negativity or things that you want to change to something that you want, like something that you desire. We call this anchoring. This is what we call, it's an NLP technique that really helped me do something, especially when I was becoming a vegetarian, because I love fried chicken so much that I had to find a way to just break the program of fried chicken, right? Because again, it's a program. It's meat. But anchoring is pretty much taking one thing and having a connection with the other thing to create a positive outcome. And so, again, I had to figure out what I can do. So typically your mind's going to think that I'm going to take fried chicken and then I'm going to replace it with, I don't know, turkey or chicken. No, turkey or chicken is still meat. You're not meeting the objective of what you want to do. Same thing, like if you've been betrayed very severely, you're not, anchoring into something that's stopping the belief system of being betrayed. And so what did I do? What I did was, I started to look at different type of animal slaughtering videos about chicken and everything else over and over and over and over again, right? And so you know what? That I found my anchor. Every time I thought about chicken, meat, or any type of meat products, or anything, even GMOs, because I watched videos about that, how they're just chemically putting stuff in our foods that's making us sick. I started to genetically, well, I guess it was genetically, but I started to think about that. It was like a trigger to anchor that craving to that experience for the animal. That's, again, this anchoring technique is very, very powerful. Once you believe in it, once you believe that you're strong enough to overcome something that you really want to overcome. And so that's what I did. Every time I eat meat, I believe that there's something, or an animal or something that's being slaughtered, or there's this food I'm eating, there's somebody that sit in the lab and genetically modified this with a chemistry suit on that is not good for my body, on me reaching a higher level of awareness. Because again, everything you eat is energy. So this type of energy is a genetically modified energy that's keeping your energy down, so you don't understand these things. It's keeping your third eye, callousized. It's keeping you unaware of what's going on with these subprograms in the matrix that we live in. And it's keeping you unaware of betrayal, perhaps, these programs, everything, right? Just giving you a little bit of examples. Now, how does somebody come back from a very painful, strong experience? How do they anchor that to something? Because again, those NLP techniques that I've learned actually helped me overcome a lot of things. And my awakening, just all together, just mixing that spiritual awakening with that, it's just powerful. So I guess for me, I've been in relationships or been around people that's actually betrayed me really, really bad or done me wrong very severely. And I know people out there just have it worse than somebody else. And again, it's difficult in a relationship because the main part of betrayal is that you're afraid to be vulnerable and open to love that other person. It's very difficult for you to go on and move on to be in, something as far as a relationship with somebody. You're pretty much blocked. You're pretty much blocked by the program of betrayal, or the idea, the belief system of betrayal, and everything that you, as far as related to that. Again, as far as NLP, which is, people don't know NLP is this neurological program. Go ahead and look that up. I studied that forever. But NLP, anchoring the betrayal to something even, more negative. It created a more belief system or a paradigm about being in a relationship. It molded a simple paradigm, just a list of beliefs of things that you believe in about being betrayed. So it becomes a part of your behavior when you're actually interacting with other people and trying to get in a relationship. That's the first thing you consider. Will this person betray me? Will this person do something towards me? Will this person not love me like they said they will, and just down the line they'll change? Again, down the line they'll change, stuff like that. How many movies have you seen like that? How many movies where you've seen that there's somebody's with you and they actually change, did a 360 and they became somebody that you never thought they could be? Again, these movies, all their love story, yeah, these are realistic love story. Realistic. When they say realistic, again, you got to be careful with that word though, because I feel like that is a really powerful word when you say realistic. Because again, from what I know now, that I know these words are sense of spells. Your words are very, very powerful. So when you're saying realistic, it's just something that you should know that it's automatically coming into your mind very, very strong. So again, just be careful and understand that if you really anchor your betrayal of being hurt and you pretty much transmute that into strength, right? Because a lot of people, they become hardened, they become very strong when they've been very betrayed and manipulated against. They do turn that into a sense of strength. But the only way you turn into a sense of weakness, in my belief, is if you never let yourself get out of that mentality of being the person that's been betrayed or being manipulated in a negative way. And so, again, how do you get out of that? How do you get out of that funk? How do you get out of that sense of being, of feeling like you're about to be in the same predicament again? Again, you have to sit down and repeat these things to yourself about what you want versus what you used to believe in. You have to really forget for a moment what you believe in, and do not put that as something into your future. Don't bring your past experiences and project them into the future. And the best way people do that is by saying them over and over again. This shit is not going to work out, or this is not going to be it. I don't know, maybe, using words, like what I say at my job, a tentative language. Don't use things. You want to be sure. You want to be sure about what that is. And so how do you anchor betrayal to something positive? We anchor something, for instance, for me, that I understood that when I was hurt, I I just totally shut down the whole relationship thing altogether. I used to hate women's guts. I did not want to be in any type of relationship or anything. And also when I had a relationship with somebody, got betrayed again, I didn't want to be in a relationship with anybody that's normal. I didn't want to be in a relationship that's anybody that didn't understand spirituality or the occult or anything like that. I didn't want to date anybody that's normal. I was like, I'd rather date somebody that's, a free spirit, right? So again, you have to really be careful that, if you really want to attract the best thing in your life, you have to be open to whatever that is. But if you keep believing in the betrayal, the negativity, you're not going to do that, because you're still following in, being attached to that same program of betrayal, being betrayed. And you're saying things like, I don't know, but you're not open to it all. You're not open to the wholeness of the situation. So a good way to anchor your betrayal to something good is just saying to yourself, like, I'm not going to believe in being betrayed anymore. I'm just going to be open to it all, to all experiences, knowing that the most powerful experience of what I want deep down inside is attracted to me. And say that to yourself, and actually say it with real belief and desire. Don't go into the thinking in the past. Don't go to the thinking and then saying things that happen in your past all the time. You may be able to talk about experiences with people, but you tell them that that's not the way you think anymore. But if deep down inside, if you're still feeling those emotions arise in yourself, then again, you need to really start doing some internal cleansing, or maybe you're hanging around the wrong people that are having issues, or you just really need to meditate to alleviate the pain inside your mind and your desire. You really need to figure out what your desire is. Cause maybe you just feel like, you kind of feel like, man, maybe I'm just meant to be betrayed. Cause people start to think that because they don't know what to think. That's very dangerous thinking. It's very dangerous thinking. You are just so powerful that you can switch your conscious mind and in conjunction with your subconscious to really attract the best things in your life. Like for me, I anchored the betrayal. Again, I anchored the betrayal to being betrayed by people and negative things by, again, having an experience of betrayal, of the program, betrayal, whatever. That's what I thought it was. Betrayal is something that somebody who did something really bad to me to make me strong, and I went through it for a reason. And that was it. And to help me to anchor that to experiences I have in the future without prejudice and judgment. Still being open to a relationship without suppressing it. Because at first I didn't suppress anything, but I suppressed it. Now, when you anchor some two beliefs and systems together, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you may chant as far as like an affirmation. It doesn't have to be that. It just could be something that you meditate on a lot to see how you can change the negative into a positive. Anchoring is really about changing the negative to a positive. If you want to change the negative to a negative, you can anchor that too. It's up to you. But again, you're looking for a better outcome, or you have to be really self-disciplined to be looking for a better outcome. Because you understand that people may be out to betray you, but don't always believe that all the time. Just be aware. Be aware that there are people trying to betray you. Be aware that there are people trying to do things to you. Be aware that there are people out there trying to do evil black magic things to you as well. Be aware of that too. Be aware of it all. Be accepting of it all. And the more you being accepting of the wholeness of the negativity and the positivity, And to anchor your negativity to something positive, that makes you very, very powerful. And if you're doing magic, that makes you even more powerful, because you don't live in a sense of polarity. So whoever's watching this in the future, I hope you actually take a lot of my advice into consideration. And if you'd like more information about how you can get coaching with me, make sure you reach out to me, send me a message on Facebook. You can find me at enlightennetworker.net, or you can go to Instagram and find me at enlightennetworker and send me a message. Or you can go to my website if you want a free discovery session. There should be a little box at the bottom left hand corner where you can book in a free discovery session for 1 hour. I don't charge anybody for that. If you're really somebody's trying to really get yourself, corrected, I'm not correcting you. I'm helping you correct yourself. That's what coaching is all about. I'm not here to fix you. You're here. I'm here to help you go to the pond to drink the water, so you can actually drink and become replenished, if that makes sense. Yeah, a lot of coaches, spiritual coaches, think that I'm the fixer, but it's really a different thing. All right, guys, so I see you later. And I guess nobody came on this stream besides one person, or I don't know if this thing was messed up, but I guess everybody on Sunday is probably not doing anything, so I don't know. But I will talk to you guys later, and make sure you share this. Share this with everybody you know. Put some hearts on it, and I will see you on next Sunday on the Sunday live streams, okay?